my name's Paul Church from Clarity Stamp here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. I hope everybody's well. I shall do my usual waffling until we see some eyes in the room. There the eyes come. And I can see Clive was nice and early this morning, and Karen as well. Weather reports from Clive and Karen. Clive says it's dull and damp in Swindon, and Karen says it is wet in Shoreham, and it's very wet here in Tunbridge Wells. Not Tunbridge Wells, in Edenbridge. I don't know where. I could be anywhere in this room. Good morning, Pat. Raining in Somerset. I think it's sort of just grey and miserable everywhere at the moment, isn't it? Yesterday was nice and sunny, and Sunday afternoon was lovely and sunny as well. So I can see we've got people tuning in on YouTube, which is Clive, Karen and Pat. And I'm sure we'll get some chat from our friends over on Facebook very shortly. I wonder whether Mo is going to be the first one on Facebook. She normally is. I'm going to move that mouse because it was hovering over the end button. And we don't want to end as we've only just begun, as the Carpenters said. Yeah, it was Carpenters, wasn't it? So I hope everybody's well. We're Tuesday again, and this is my hour of nice, chilled, relaxed, getting together with friends. That should be my message from Sue. Sue says all is good. Thank you, Sue. We've got Olivia, cloudy and overcast in Dunstable in Bedfordshire. I wonder whether Facebook is playing up at the moment, because I can't see any of our friends from Facebook, and I know many of us friends are over on Facebook. Very strange. Technology. I can see we've got 55 eyes in the room already, and Lisa's there, Jan is there, all on YouTube. Very strange. I'll have to, what's Sue telling me? Sue is on Facebook. I can't see any Facebook messages. Never mind, doesn't matter. I'm sure if there's anything important, then Sue will pop me a message. Lovely to have your company. I can see we've definitely got people in the room. Numbers are going up, and I know it's literally just after 10 o'clock. So Pat says, no hurry with my order. Well, I'm glad you said that, Pat. We have one or two sale orders to process there, but they're working like real troopers, getting through them as quickly as possible. And we're trying to obviously combine, if you've done multiple orders, we do try and combine them if we possibly can. Raining in Plumstead, says Angela. Okay, well, I think obviously there's a glitch with the restream that we use for our chat, and I reckon that there's lots of people chatting over on Facebook as well. Yeah, Naheed says everyone's over on Facebook as usual, so you know what, they'll come through eventually. But as I say, if there's anything important, a question, then I'm sure Sue will let me know. Okay, so I hope everybody's been well, behaving. Yeah, it's raining now, I can definitely hear it. So it's sort of a little bit drizzly earlier on, but it is now raining, so you may be able to pick it up. So what we're looking at today, so we're continuing our lovely journey with Tina's layering plate mate for A6sq Plates and using some of those frames. Later on, I'm going to give you a sneaky peek of the one-day special coming up, designed by Linda Williams. Flowers say it all, and launching them tomorrow on Valentine's Day as well. But I think flowers are for any occasion, aren't they, throughout the year? And for me, the beauty of flowers when it comes to crafting is that they last forever, don't they? So yeah, I'll give you a sneaky peek on that if you want to see what's coming up. some fantastic artwork. It's all here in front of me from the design team. And the lovely Glynis and Josie have kindly prepared all the demos for me to share with you on tomorrow. I don't know what it's a little bit busy this week at Clarity Towers and also on TV, but we shall talk about that a little bit later as well. So let's have a look at the designs. Maybe we've got who's new to Groovi Tuesday. I can only obviously see YouTube messages. So do we have any newbies on YouTube? If you're new, then say hello. And Sue, maybe if there's any newbies over on Facebook, then just drop me a text and let me know who they are. And we can give everybody a warm welcome. Okay. So the designs we're looking at here are, this is a plate mate for A6sq Plates. So you can see it's got that aperture in the middle, perfect sort of bite-sized plate for that. And then there was a series of 4 baby plates as well. Now, if you have the starter kit, then these will fit in there with the, with the adapter plate in the starter kit. And, but they work perfectly with this as well. And there's so much design on these. Nahid, if you try coming out of Facebook and refreshing for our messages. Nahid, I'm not in Facebook. We use a piece of software that combines messages from both. And if I come out of it, it will end the session. So, you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm sure you're all having fun over on Facebook, like you always do. Okay. So we've been looking at these, and the whole, well, I should say not the whole idea. One of the ideas behind this collection was to create separate layers to create your card. Okay. Now, the first piece we created, we did it all on one layer, and we gave the illusion of multiple layers by introducing the various different sized frames. Now, these also happen to work perfectly with our Pico dies. Okay. But you don't need them if you don't want to. If you want to do traditional Pico cutting, you can, or you could just cut them out. So with a circle, steady hand, and a pair of scissors, or maybe our circle dies. If you've got normal circular dies, they may work perfectly for those as well. So the piece of artwork we were heading towards was this piece created by Tina. And I love the effect of sort of like the greys and the lemons and that dark colour in the background. And so this is made up of 3 different pieces. So we've got the largest one, then the next one in, and then finally the one on top. Now, you can do exactly the same design all on one layer if you chose to, and you can introduce colour into certain areas. So it's all about having the choices. I know many of our friends at home have already finished their pieces. I think Jill Wilding was way ahead the other week when we all got together. But it's all about enjoying the process, isn't it? And it's lovely seeing what everybody comes up with. So when we sort of break this down, I've kept it in 3 layers, like Tina has. So we've got our largest square here, and this has been taken from this part here. So we chose our Pico square, we introduced the lines, completed part of it, and then you just keep turning it around until you have your complete frame. Now, when I did that, I was out fractionally, but you can't tell where it didn't meet exactly, can you? Okay, so thank you, Mo. Mo says she's just popped into YouTube. Everyone's chatting amongst themselves over on Facebook. Well, that's good to hear. It's all about having fun, isn't it? Okay, so that was the largest layer. Then the next layer down started with clear parchment, and this time we chose the frame again from the Platemate, and this time, rather than use the design that was on the Platemate itself, I decided to go with the frame that was on the little baby plate. Okay, so it shows the versatility of the design. There's another lovely corner here that if you wanted to, you could extend. And then our final piece was the centerpiece, where we chose our sentiment from the plate that comes in the middle of the Platemate. And then we just took one flower from the poppies. Now you could take the design exactly as they come, but we chose that one and extended the length of the stalks. See, that's the great thing about the Groovi system, is having that versatility and adaptability if you choose to. Then what we did, we started introducing colour, and I got a fantastic tip from, we all got a fantastic tip from Jane Telford. So on the back of the parchment, we used our Dorso crayons to apply colour. Okay, so the Dorso crayons, one of the techniques of them were to allow for coverage in larger areas quite quickly. And you can build up your depth of colour, you can blend, you can get lovely rainbow effects, depending what type of finish you require. And then you can keep going over and applying more colour. And then Jane gave us all that fantastic top tip of using our finger to blend. So rather than using the crayon, not a crayon, a tissue with the Dorso oil and sort of diluting it and potentially lifting it away, your finger was a key, well, my finger was, to this, and it was brilliant. It was so effective. Okay, then in the flowers, we used our Perga pens to introduce some colour to those, so that when we turn that over, we've got the lovely, so I'm going for sort of like pinks and greys in this one. And then last week, we started then to look at the actual centerpiece. And we started off, I said what we would do is we would go, one flower would be coloured with the Dorso crayons, one we'd colour with the pens, and another one we would colour with the Perga pencils. So that's where we got to last week. Okay, so this is where we're going to continue. And I reckon by the end of today's session, if I don't waffle on too much, then I reckon we'd be able to complete this project. And then next Tuesday, we'll still stick with this collection. And I'm going to have a little bit of a play. I'm going to have a look at the art boxes from the design team and see if there's one in there that we can sort of digest and sort of have a go at. So what do you reckon? I reckon that'll be good. So I'm going to have a slurp of coffee. Oh, lovely. While we gather all our bits together. So what are you going to go for? Are you going to go for Perga pencils? Are you going to go for Perga pens? Or are you going to use your Dorso crayons to colour in? It's entirely up to you. Or maybe give it a go. Try it on, try using the 3 different mediums if you have them. So let's have a look. I've got a little text there from Sue. Ken is sending thanks to us all for the hard work during the sale. You're more than welcome. But you know what, Ken? It's only just started. No, the guys down in the picking and packing have been working like crazy, processing those orders. So, and it's really appreciated, all the orders that have come in. Okay, so let's pop the plates to one side. Now, I mustn't cover that over because that is a sneaky, you can't see it. I've got a sneaky peek of the new plates coming up on Wednesday, tomorrow. I've just lost track of days. Okay, so let's have a look. So we're going to have a look at this small piece. like so. And do you remember I practiced, didn't I, on different sort of techniques on a scrap piece, and we said that could be a butterfly of sorts, or we also said it was sort of like a fairy with the fairy wings. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to zoom in. This is where I do my exercises now. Okay, and stretch, and I've cut a piece of paper up. Which way? I'm going in, so I'm coming this way on the lever. Okay, right. So I reckon we could definitely build up some more colour. First off, with the Dorso crayons on this one. So if I take my Dorso crayon and I'm just going to go on the back, and it doesn't matter if I go over the edges, because I can use my eraser pencil to rub out. Okay, and I'm going to use my finger. Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually use. Let me try something. I'm going to see what my blending pen does. Now it's completely dry. There's no oil on it. I need my glasses. There you go. No, not as effective. What it's doing, it's actually removing it, even though it's dry. So this is where the heat of my finger, as told to us by Jane, makes a difference. Okay. Definitely. It's a great technique, the finger technique. Then I'm going to take my eraser pencil, and then I'm just going to go around the outside where my chunky finger has gone around the outside. Okay. Now, if you decide that you don't like this effect, then you can just take your eraser pencil and you can rub it out completely. Okay. Right. Another top tip, see all the debris that I've been rubbing out. Don't blow. Take a brush and brush it away. Okay. Right, so that one's been done with the Dorso crayons, like so. So let's have a look at our Perga pens. So I've got, there's so many pinks in the Perga pens. Okay, now I can't remember which was A, B, C, D, E, F. So let's go again. So we've got that pink. I'm going to put them in the same order. You know what would make more sense, wouldn't it? If I write underneath what number it is, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it, Paul? But what I need is a pen. Okay, so this one is 24. See, sometimes pens don't like writing on parchment. Then we've got 25, like so. 25. This is a better idea, isn't it? Why did I not think of that the other day? And this one is number 6. The numbers are all on the pens. Okay. So what was that? That was number 6. Then the next one is number 8. And the next one is number 5. And finally, look, so many pinks, is number 4. Okay. So now we can decide which colour maybe is the best match for our piece of artwork. So when we turn it over, because obviously don't forget we're working on the back of the parchment, if I bring in, I wonder if I bring a colour it's going to go on. So that's what it is. Well, not really. It's going to go on the pink, isn't it? It's going to go on the pink, then it will go on to that. So now I can put that down like so and see which I think is the best mix. Now I'm going to have to go out on my own on this one because I can't see all our friends over on Facebook, but I can see our friends on YouTube. I reckon, do I want to go number 8, which is a very similar in colour, or do I want to go number 24, which is a little bit brighter, or do I want to go number 5, which is very bright? Decisions. I reckon I'm going to go with number 8. You're probably all shouting different numbers at me, but I can't hear you. So let's turn it over and we're going to do this one just here. Okay. Now, one of the great things with the Perga pens is that there are 2 ends to them. So you have a fantastic bullet tip, like so. Hang on. What is Sue telling me? Number 5. The 5 over on Facebook. Is that what I've gone for? No, I've gone for number 8. So you reckon I should go number 5, the brighter pink? Decisions. You know what? I'm going to go with number 5 because I can't hear you. Right. Okay. Right. Clive says it's a good choice. Lisa G likes 5. Oh, Pat's saying number 8. Pat, don't do that. Let's go with number 5. Now, did you watch the Pergamano show last week with Jane? It was last week, wasn't it? Yeah, Jane was on last week on the Pergamano show, and she did some fantastic tips and tricks and different techniques with different colouring methods. She used the pencils, she used the pens, and she did some fantastic shadow embossing work as well. And that was using those lovely plates designed by Jazz, the floral panels. So, I mean, I was obviously watching, and I mean, Jane is great on TV. You can really see her teaching skills, because Jane was a teacher, coming across exact, precise, informative, and so much talent. But yeah, and so go back and watch the Pergamano show on Create and Craft if you missed it, because it was 2 great hours. It really was. Okay, so I'm going to take the pen and I'm going to just gently stroke the parchment. Okay, I'm not going to apply pressure with the pen. I'm tickling the parchment. Okay, I'm tickling the parchment. So if I go just like so, because if you go on too much, what happens is you get like what was the word that Jane used? Is it like pilling of the parchment? You know, like where it gets too wet and then it starts to sort of thread or pill, sort of like the fibers break down, don't they? And that can also happen with parchment. But as Jane said, you can go back in, once it's completely dry, you can go back in and build those layers up. Now, one of with the pens, once it's down, it is down. Okay, so you can try to remove it, but it's unlikely to come off. Okay. Whereas with the pencils and the Dorso crayons, you have that safety net. Okay. Good point, Pat. Pat says she likes to use a brush. So you can use a dry paint brush. I tend to use the water brushes, dry. Mine have never had, my water brushes have never had water in them. I just use them as brushes. Okay, and there's 3 different size nibs on those. You've got a small, a medium, and a large. Okay, but what happens is that when you use your mix mat to scribble out your colour and you use the brush to pick it up, you get a completely different tone of the colour that you've used. Okay, so let me explain. So if I go on here with this colour, so I've gone direct to the parchment. If I take my mix mat and scribble some colour down on there, and then I take my brush, okay, to pick up that colour, and then colour in on the parchment, you see I get a lovely soft tone of that pink. Okay, I'll bring a piece of white card into play. Let me show you. So it's very, very subtle. So that's it direct. And just by using a brush to apply, you get a completely different shade of pink. So when you consider, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pinks. Potentially, I've now got 12 different pinks if you use the brush to apply the colour. Now, one thing to be wary of, just to be aware of, is that strangely, and nobody's sort of given me the reasons why this may occur, direct onto the parchment is dry almost instantly. Applying with the brush takes it longer to dry. Okay. Very strange. Don't know why. Peculiar. Okay. Oh, coffee. Lovely. So we can decide if we wanted to, if we could take that pink, if we wanted to go on more lightly for our flower. So let's pop those brushes to one side. As I say, these brushes, although they're called water brushes, they've never had any water in them at all. Okay, where's the lid gone? Where are you hiding? Maybe it didn't have one on there to start. Okay, let's not worry about that. The lid will turn up when it turns up. Okay, so now, see on the back, it looks very different to the Dorso crayons. So if I turn that over, I've now got a different shade of pink. Okay. What did I go for? Did I go for 8 or did I go for 5? I think I picked up number 8, didn't I? Oh, 5, hang on. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I said 5, didn't I? But you all said 8. It should be the parchment. Okay. So now, what time is it? Who wants a sneaky peek? No. Oh, what a shame. I can't hear anybody on Facebook. So nobody wants a sneaky peek of the one-day special coming up tomorrow. No. There's nobody there. Only our lovely friends over on YouTube. Pat says yes. I bet you do, Pat. Go on then. Ian says yes. Oh, hang on. What's Sue saying? Is everyone... Yes, please. Go. No. No. Oh, when technology doesn't work, you can still have fun, can't you? You could be saying anything over there, and I'm oblivious to it all. But I know, yeah. Nahid, see, look, Nahid is the spokesperson. She's multitasking over on Facebook and YouTube. So you want to have a look, do you? Right. What I need to do, first of all, let me put this card on the overhead first so I can get the position right, because I zoomed in really closely. So this is the piece of artwork where we're heading towards. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. Whee! There we go. What can I need to come out about that? Okay. Then I shall begin. Oh, it's like Christmas. Just have a slurp of coffee. Okay. Now, if I said to you frosted florals, Linda Williams, you may be aware of the concept. So the concept of the frosted florals was you had 5 beautiful floral designs from Linda, and it was all about sort of honing your white work and colouring skills in a more traditional style. And we did it on one of our parchment retreats at the Spa Hotel a couple of years back. And then what was exciting about that was that we actually printed the line art in white ink. Now, we didn't print it because it's very difficult. Obviously, you can't print white ink. So we had to send it off to a specialist for them to print it, but it had to be very soft and subtle. And everyone went mad for it because it was sort of a fantastic sort of technique to use. Then everyone said, oh, can we have them in Groovi? Can we have them in stamps? So as usual, Barbara and the guys back at the office, they listen. So a couple of years back, I think it was a couple of years back, I think it was 2022, we brought out the first collection of floral designs from Linda Williams. Okay. So the first collection was made up of, these are A6 Groovi Plates. So the first one was the Amaryllis, the Christmas Rose, then we had the Fuchsia. We did have in the future. We had our Fuchsia, and we had our more traditional English Rose. Then we had our lovely tulips, and then we had a vase with a lovely sentiment on it. Okay, so now we have set 2 hiding under here. You want to have a look? So now we have an agapanthus. So it's not just a flower, it's all these lovely decorative elements that Jazz has added in to the design. Then we have our clematis or clematis. Okay, I'm going to go blind on this because obviously I'll have to rely on Nahid or Sue to tell me. Do you say clematis or do you say clematis or clematis? No, I can't do it now. Clematis. Oh, it's a lovely flower. I can't go. I'm all tongue-tied. I said it initially. Okay. The clematis. There we go. Is it clematis or clematis? Oh, no. Anyway, lovely flower. Then we have our lovely lilies, our peonies, and the final one in the collection is the poppies. Okay. I can hear Sue laughing downstairs. Okay. That's how loud Sue's laugh is. Okay. And then we have a new vase with another sentiment. So the one-day special is this collection of 5 beautiful plates, okay, designed by Linda Williams and additional elements added by the lovely Jazz. Now, talking of Jazz, so much talent. Okay, obviously these are lovely. You've got corners on here. Many of you have got lovely frames. First one, Paul, how you said the flower. I can't say it now. I can't say it. Clematis. Clematis. Is it clematis? 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 That's A. Or is it clematis? Clematis. Oh, I can't do it now. Anyway, let's go back to some designs that Jazz has been working on. Okay. So this is the dotted lace frames semi-square. Okay. Look at these. If you love your dotting, I mean, poor Jazz. She was going cross-eyed doing this. Sue, that doesn't help me. Sue just wrote me a text and said it's clematis, but it's both spelt the same way. So clematis. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so we have our lovely semi-square. Okay, fantastic corners. You've got sentiments on there. Beautiful, beautiful designs to accompany any of your Groovi stash. Then, in addition to that, lovely Jazz, we've got an extender plate. So, work beautifully as borders. You know, we were talking about year of the alphabet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different mini alphabets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And the way I'll show you obviously on TV, but the way in which they work is that obviously if you take that half, flip it round, you've got an instant square, hence it being called a semi-square. But maybe you want to do a rectangle. So what you do is it lines up and you easily extend it without having to keep moving it and moving it and moving it. Then you've got additional sentiments on there as well. All you need is love, live this life, enjoy today, baby, girl, boy, dream big. I don't know how Jazz crams it all on there. So these are 2 lovely A4 plates, okay? And they are also launching tomorrow on the One Day Special shows. Now, let's have a look at some artwork. Are you ready to be blown away? So we're going to start with the Agapanthus, and this is a piece created by Glynis. Stunning. A little bit of white work, a little bit of colour. I love the monochromatic look that Glynis has created here. Then, thinking outside the box, or inside the box, is this piece from Francis. Francis has used that lovely new plate from Jazz to create the frame, but look, let me bring it, because it, oh, hang on, I'll bring it up to that camera, I forgot to switch that off. Look at that. Okay, then we're going to move on to the sea flower, clematis. This one is from Julie Campbell, using that lovely vase. Happy Mother's Day. Gorgeous. A little bit of sparkle on the front there, I think, from Julie. Then how about a piece from Carol Baker? Look at that. So that's using Jane's lattice frame. Look. Every time I open up the artwork from the design team, I just get blown away. Then this one is from Hazel, using the lilies, using the frames, designer papers in the background. Then how about this one from Julie Campbell, using those new plates from Jazz as well. Pat says the baked beans have gone. Yeah, you can't afford baked beans now. Karen says, can my purse take another hit so soon after the members sale? Then we move on to the peony. And this one is from Francis. All the work that this team put into. Then we have a piece from Julie Campbell. Look at that. I love these little elements from the plates. The vase, pico cutting around that border. Oh, no. Then this one here from Francis. Look at that. Those poppies. I feel as if I could pick them off the page. Then something a little bit different. This one's from Jill Askham. Look, same plate, different colours, different colouring techniques. Then we've got a couple of pieces using the just the frames on their own. So this is from Karen Jackson. So this also introduces the nested square extension frame as well to create the layout. And this was very clear. I fell in love with this one. Look, makes the present. It's like all ribbon, isn't it? So yeah. So the design team, Linda's designs, Jazzy's artwork as well. Dream team. It really, really is. I'm going to pop these over here somewhere safe. So I mustn't forget to take those with me tomorrow. So the 1 day special tomorrow, it's a 2-hour launch. So I'm on from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. And then have a bit of a breather in between, a quick cup of coffee or 10. And then I'm back on at 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock. Then on Thursday, 10 to 11, and then 2 till 3. And then on Saturday, 7, brand new, well, not brand new plates, a new show. We're going Celtic on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. till 8, 11 till 12. And then the lovely Deborah Wheeler, she'll be at the studio by then. She said she's going to get there for about 10. She's got some more new designs from Linda Williams, stamps, country scenes, instant artwork, elements, absolutely amazing. And the demos that Deborah's done, again, tips and tricks and techniques. So I'm looking forward to, I'm going to be behind the camera on that one, watching Deborah work her magic. So I have got a little bit of a schedule here if you want to just have a look at what it is. If you go to the Clarity website, there is an events calendar. It's just I say it's probably about go onto the banners a little bit further down and you'll see the calendar. You can click there and you can see all the times, the dates, when we have the different events. So Wednesday is the 1 day special, Thursday is the 1 day special, Thursday evening is Craft Along a Barbie, live on Facebook at 7 p.m. and YouTube. That was the one that was rescheduled. So it'll be repeated for those of our friends that aren't aware that it's been rescheduled. Then TV, and then don't forget that the Shack isn't back until Monday the 26th. But I'll be back with you next Tuesday as well. Karin, what time on Thursday? My Sky isn't showing it yet. Okay, so Wednesday, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening. Then Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The 1 day specials are always, they kick off at 6 o'clock in the evening, So it's 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So you do 2 hours on one day. And then the following day, it's always 10 a.m. and then 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay. So flowers for Valentine's Day. Forget the bouquet. These will last longer. They will indeed. These are flowers that will keep on giving. They really will. So, but yeah, say check out the Clarity website, because all that information is on there as well in relation to times and stuff, and upcoming shows as well. It's just sort of like a little calendar that you'd keep on your phone, like a digital calendar you keep on your phone, and you can just go on there. You can click on the date, the show, and it will just tell you the times of the various shows. Okay, so I dread to think what's going on over on Facebook. All I can hear is laughter from Sue downstairs. It's either that or she's talking to a customer on the phone. And I know that there's a delay from when I'm saying things here in the studio live. There's a delay of it transmitting via Facebook and YouTube. So sometimes I think, what's Sue laughing at? And realise, yeah, that there is a delay. So lots of love from Facebook. Lovely. Okay, should we carry on? I really enjoyed it. I'm not enjoying it, but I am enjoying it. Because I know what everyone's like over on Facebook with all their chit chat and naughtiness and everything else. Oh, there we go. We've got lovely Jane's over on YouTube. The new stamps Dab has on are amazing. They really are. And I'd say her demos are fantastic, what she's come up with, as well as the design team. So there's lots to keep you occupied. Sue reckons you're having the most fun over on Facebook. I don't think so. I think my friends over here on YouTube are just as fun. Oh, isn't it funny? It's sort of technology. When it goes wrong, you either adapt to it or you just think, oh. So we just that bit. I can't see what's going on Facebook, but I know that many of you will be really looking forward to the shows over the next few days. Yeah. Okay. Should we go back to some colouring? I don't feel as if I want to colour anymore. I just want to chat. Okay. So I'm going to zoom back in again now. Sue is saying, Facebook versus YouTube. Let's go. You ready to rumble then, Sue? I keep covering up the bit of paper. Right, I'm going to zoom in now. Whee! Oh, Pat says her YouTube has gone out of sync. It's hysterical. Well, if I just don't show my face anymore and just talk, you won't know whether it's in sync or not. Oh, dearie me. Oh. It's, you know what? For me, laughter. I feel as if you're all in the room with me, wherever you are in the world. And I know we've got friends all over the world. And it's just, I mean, just hear Sue giggling downstairs. I know then that everyone's enjoying it, having fun. And for me, that's what it's all about. Yeah, we can show tips and techniques and different bits and pieces. But sometimes just getting together for an hour each week, or several hours during the week, because you've got the Shack on Monday at 10 o'clock with Barb, Groovi Tuesday, and then on a Thursday evening at 7, whether it be at the craft along or the Shack. It's all about just keeping each other company, isn't it? And just enjoying the moment. It was funny yesterday when who was it? Let me just go to my text messenger. I'm rubbish with names. Hang on. That was it. Thelma in the Shack yesterday about celebrating New Year. And Barb said, oh, wow, you're going to China, really? And Thelma come back and said, no, Worthing, which is on the south coast. So to me, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's the interaction. Sue reckons Facebook's winning. I don't think so. There's no winners in this room today, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. Actually, I'm the winner because I've got your company. So yeah, I'm the winner, not Facebook or YouTube, me. Okay. Jane's going to disappear in a minute as her shopping is on the way. Sending lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of love to Jane and Colin at this time. We're here if you need us. Okay. So we looked at the background. We will get these flowers coloured in eventually. So now I want to look at pencils. Okay. So I've got to stop saying so. I'm just so excited for TV tomorrow. Oh, dearie me. Look, okay, let me show you something. My watch, almost there. Keep moving for 1 minute to make progress towards your stand goal. Really? Almost there? I was almost there about 4 hours ago. So what we're going to do, he said, there's 2 different types of pencils in the pergoliners. You've got sort of A for aqua, which is in the black writing, and B for blending in white writing. So those of you that are already familiar with the pergoliner pencils, and Barb was using them yesterday on the faux gems. With the wax-based pencils, if you apply too much pressure, it can seal. You need to make sure you keep sharpening the pencils so that you don't get a block on the pencils as well. So we've got choices. Do we want to go with just the watercolor pencils, or do we want to make our own color? And now I can hear the dust cart reversing in the yard. Warning, vehicle reversing. Okay, so for that, let's have a look. I'm going to go with the red pencil and the white pencil. So these are the B pencils. I'm going to use some Dorso oil, a spot on sponge, and some Dorso oil. Okay. So let's have a little looky, shall we? Okay. So for me to get a lovely pink colour, what I'm going to do first is, what am I going to do first? I am going to take a clean nib in my blending pen. Okay. I'm going to put some oil on my spot-on sponge. See, Jane had a good tip. Jane stores her spot-on sponge in one of those little jam jars that you tend to get at hotels. We won't ask how Jane acquired that. You can get them in supermarkets as well. So I'm going to load up my blending pen with some Dorso oil, and I'm just going to put the oil within, I don't know if you can see, just inside the flower. Okay. Now it's only because, the only reason I'm doing this with the blending nib is because I've used different mediums on my different flowers. If I was going to use all of them with the pergoliner B pencils, then I would have just wiped the oil over all of it. But because I just want to be a little bit specific, this is where the blending nib comes into play. Okay, so that's applied now. And it was exactly the same when we was doing the larger area with the Dorso crayons, but I covered the whole of the parchment with Dorso oil. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is put my glasses on. I'm going to take the white B pencil, which is B1, and just very lightly apply a layer of white. Okay. I'm not putting the pressure on. I'm just lightly scribbling the white. Okay. I was just trying to work out what Sue was telling me. Parch side story. Parch side story. That, oh, I get it. Yes. Okay, Jane's confessed. She bought them in the supermarket with marmalade in. Of course she did, Jane. Wink, wink. What's the name of that hotel? Right, okay. Yes, I get it now. Parch side story with Facebook versus YouTube. Okay. Now I'm going to take another nib. I know, another nib. Not putting anything on there, I don't think. No, it doesn't need it because I've put that base coat of Dorso oil down first. All I'm doing is sort of, I'm dry blending. Okay, like so. Just to smooth out the granular white notes. Bye, Jane. Take care. Lots of love to you and Colin. Sending gentle hugs. Okay, so we've blended the white like so. And now I'm going to take some red and I'm just going to put some flicks of red at the base of the petals. Okay, just slightly on there. You can see it, there's not much on there. It doesn't really look like anything, does it? I'm going to stick with the same nib. I'm going to pick up a little bit of oil and let's see what happens. So now we're blending, we're breaking down the red. Too much red. Too much red. Needed less red. Well, I don't know. It works. So now what we're doing is we're taking that red into the white. Okay, and then when it stops moving like it has there, just go in, pick a little bit more oil up. There we go. And it gets going again. Actually, it's not too red. Oh, that works. But you know what? If you didn't like it, take the rubber and rub it all out and start again. Okay. So let's have a look. Is it red or is it pink? It's in between, isn't it? So look, I need to put some more over here. So just pick up some more oil. And we're just spreading the red until we get a lovely colour of pink. Now if you think, okay, well maybe it's not pink enough, it's maybe a little bit too red, excuse me, and I'd go with the pink eraser, okay, rather than the white. I tend to go with the white, but because I want to just lift it off slightly, the pink one is more forgiving. Okay, so I can gently lift off some of that colour. Then I can take some more white. Okay, just lightly on top. And then blend those together. Okay, so don't be afraid. Give it a go. Maybe you want to just try this initially. Just trace out those little flower heads like we did before. and just have a play with your colour. Work out whether you need to put a lot of red, a little bit of red, but on the camera overhead, it doesn't look much different from there to there, does it? Because that one's so bright and dominant, you get that contrast. But if I cover that up, they look very similar in colour, don't they? And then when we turn it over, I'm going to cover that one up just because sometimes a really bright colour can really throw out the soft pastel tones. So have a play. See what you prefer to colour in with. Do you prefer to colour in with the pens? Do you prefer to colour in with the Dorso crayon? Maybe you've never tried colouring in with the Dorso crayons. Give it a go. What's the harm? If you don't like it, take a rubber and rub it out. Maybe just draw a series of these little flower heads out and just practice. But you know what? What's a good idea? What was the top tip for today? I'm sure there's plenty of top tips over on Facebook, but the top tip today was don't lose your bit of paper, Paul. The top tip today was write the numbers you've used or do a colour palette underneath. Maybe create a little colour swatch that you can keep in your folder. Top tip today was laugh. That's always a top tip, Pat. Yeah, do a little colour chart. Draw some little squares out on a Groovi plate and colour them in, and then right underneath on that. I wonder. Let's have a look. Of course there is. Look, you got numbers on here, so you could use your Groovi plate to put your number underneath of what colour pen it is, couldn't you? Spend an hour or two just making some little boxes, put the number of the pen underneath and use it as a colour chart. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, really good idea. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you all today. I've got to remember to pack everything for when I head up to TV tomorrow. I'm going to work through, got lots of different pieces to get ready, so I hope I don't forget everything. Everything's in this room, not everything, but I just need to make sure that this desk is clear when I pack all my boxes ready to go. So as always, thank you for your company. It's always fun. Even though I can't see half of you over on Facebook, I know it would have been a fun session. So yeah, I will hopefully see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Create and Craft. Otherwise, I might see you Saturday morning. Who's going to get up nice and early Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and join me? I tell you what, if you do, send an email into the studio at 7 a.m. so I know that I'm not on my own. I can't think who I'm on with on Saturday. Which presenter, I can't remember. So yeah, send me an email on Saturday morning at 7 o'clock if you're watching, so that I'm not on my own. And then don't forget Deborah Wheeler, Saturday 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and the craft along on Thursday evening with Barb as well at 7 p.m. So enjoy the rest of your week. I'm off to go and see what Sue's been giggling about. And I'll see you all next week. Take care now. Bye bye. I'm coming soon.